I think about the future, I think about how long we'll have on this planet. Is it 30 more years? Is it 60 more years? Is it 80 more years? Since a young age, I've been engaged with multiple activities to save our planet. Yet, I've always felt like it wasn't enough. As the years went by, I kept seeing how the fuel energy, agricultural industry, and the transportation industries were the ones most polluting our planet, and how we should change our habits. But deep inside, I've always felt like one of the most prominent industries affecting our environment passed by unnoticed it. The fashion industry, or specifically, the fast fashion industry. Well, who here has already shopped at Zara? Forever 21, H&M, Shane. I'm certain that I have already, and almost everyone within my social group has. However, since I was introduced to the reality of these stores and the impact they footprint on Earth, I felt urged to change my habits. Fast fashion refers to fashion retailers that cheaply produce and price garments that copy the latest catwalk trends and get pumped quickly in stores in order to maximize the current trends. In a world where quantity over quality is prominent, fast fashion dominates the industry. It involves the rapid designing, production, distribution, and marketing of clothes, which means retailers are able to pull large quantities of greater product variety and allow consumers to get more fashion and product differentiation at a low price. Rapid production means that sales and profits supersede human welfare. Fast fashion production normally takes place in sweatshops in developing countries, where there aren't many working regulations and prices of production are extremely low. When these businesses produce in sweatshops, they subsequently contract out to unregistered vendors that don't have to comply with any laws, which means there's no requirement for these brands to provide safe and working conditions for manufacturers. Sweatshops refer to typically tiny manufacturing establishments employing workers under unfair and unhygienic conditions. These are the working conditions in a sweatshop. In Bangladesh, workers in sweatshops are paid about 33 cents per hour, while the average wage in India is barely 58 cents. According to the fashion revolution, only 2% of fashion workers around the world are paid a livable salary. 2%. Back in 2017, Zara customers in Istanbul felt cries for help in the form of handwritten notes from Zara manufacturers. I made this item you're going to buy, but I didn't get paid for it. The workers claimed that they were hired by Bravo, which goes overnight without paying them. Workers also claim they're owed 3 months of pay as well as severance allowance. The manufacturer also makes clothes for Next and Mambo. If we don't change our fashion habits now, imagine how much worse the life of millions of fast fashion workers will be in the future. Not only does the fast fashion industry treat millions of workers heartlessly and unconsciously, but also our sweet home planet Earth is treated the same way. According to the UN Environmental Program, the industry is the second biggest consumer of water, requiring 2,000 gallons to produce a pair of jeans and 700 gallons to produce a pair of cotton t-shirts. The textile dye industry is also known as the second largest water polluter, as the water left over from the dyeing process is often dumped into ditches, streams, or rivers. A few of the most common materials brands use are nylon, polyester, and acrylic, which take a century to biodegrade. According to a 2017 report by Boucher and Farid, 35% of the ocean microplastics comes from the laundry of synthetic textiles, like the ones most prominent in the fast fashion industry. The production of these plastic fibers into textiles is an energy-intensive process that requires large amounts of petroleum and releases particulate matters and acids. Fashion processes such as dyeing require 43 million tons of chemicals a year. 43 million tons. Above all, the fast fashion industry is responsible for about 10% of all global carbon emissions, more than all international flights and maritime shipping combined. But the worst is yet to come. According to Ellen MacArthur Foundation, fast fashion emissions will grow by 50 by 2030 if current growth continues. And global urban consumption is projected to rise by 63%, from 62 million to 102 million tons. These are the statistics that make me fear how long we'll have on this planet. These are the reasons why I urge us to change our fashion habits. You might be wondering right now, how can you change your fashion habits? But having a hard time, as the only place that stock the latest trends for a fair price are stores like Zara. But that's where my first action to changing your fashion habits comes in. Find your own style. One of the main reasons why fast fashion trends exist is trends. We grow up in a society where we are induced to dress all the same. Not only following trends removes all authenticity and makes people unable to truly mirror their personalities, but also harms our planet, as we throw away the old trends garments to buy the new trends garments and stars, which results in 18.6 million tons of living clothing waste. Finding your own style and being comfortable with it isn't an easy task, especially as you may feel left out. But let's remember there are different styles where it makes us beautiful and unique, and that you're also playing a huge part in saving our planet by not following trends. Another more sustainable alternative would be buying in secondhand stores. Buying secondhand is a key factor when you're starting a more sustainable and conscious wardrobe. By buying secondhand, you're extending a garment's life cycle, which is really good for the environment, as you're keeping textiles out of landfills, lessen pollution caused by production, and also saving resources. A different alternative would be buying slow fashion brands. Slow fashion can be described as the literal opposite of fast fashion, with its principle being opting for quality over quantity, both in production and consumption, a more sustainable manufacturing process, workers who are paid fairly and work in good conditions, collections in small batches in order to avoid waste, using natural fabrics, dead-stock fabrics, or old textiles for upcycling. There are many benefits to embracing slow fashion, including reducing your carbon footprint, supporting trade-free practices, and also investing in higher-quality clothing. By buying these slow fashion brands, you can feel good by knowing that your clothes are made ethically and sustainably. Getting to know the truth about the fast fashion industry inspired me to want to change our fashion world. Therefore, I myself, alongside my best friends, have already started to act upon it, launching a slow fashion groups for girls within our age group. Not gonna lie, it's been quite a ride. Not only as from the designs, to the financials, to the marketing strategies we're doing all alone and learning from scratch, but also it has been the most fulfilling experience ever. Choosing sustainable fabrics and workers who are paid fairly and work in good conditions brings a sense of mission accomplishment, as I'm helping in the increase of the fast fashion industry. Not only following the guidelines for a more sustainable planet felt amazing, but also seeing girls our age group changing out their habits by choosing our clothes over fast fashion clothes, and also seeing them learning in sports and slow fashion nowadays has truly been a unique experience. We chose to make timeless garments that can be shown in these slides. Sorry. Well, we chose to make timeless garments that can be used at any time of the day and for a long period of time. Therefore, you won't throw them away after 7 years. Getting to start my own fashion brands has only inspired me to want to act bigger in this field, to inspire more and more people to buy more consciously and sustainably for a better future. Getting to know the truth of our go-to stars is a harsh reality, but instead of thinking that only you changing your habits won't make a difference, remember that our planet's constant is making more sustainable and everlasting. Thank you.